When one door closes,
another one opens.
Welcome to the True North Lifestyle Podcast. Hello, I'm Joe Kruse, and today we're switching it up a little bit. Got a couple of buddies here with me. First is someone that a lot of you guys know from the past is Ben Allen with Epic Adventures.
How we doing?
And I don't know, what's the name of your company, Steve?
I'm just Epic.
You are this week, buddy.
Yeah, you are.
I'm Steve White, father, son.
My good friend Stephan White, who by now I guess is world famous. But anyway, it's been a good couple of days, right?
It's been a great couple of days.
It's been awesome.
It's every day is a great day up here, right?
That's right. That's right.
So it's a little tough. It's always tough this time of year with deer season and everything to get these episodes out because we try to keep things timely and kind of in order. But Rick is actually out in Saskatchewan, which I think it was about a half hour ago. We saw a post that he shot one with 20 minutes left, I guess, out there. So it'll be interesting to see what he shot there. And
is that 20 minutes in the season or 20 minutes just in the day?
20 minutes left with him. He was leaving, I think, to go meet Jeff in Nebraska.
Wow.
So
right down to the wire.
Just extended his stay a little bit, I think.
Yeah.
Oh no, he'll be gone in the morning for Nebraska, I'm sure.
Oh wow.
Yeah, he'll get everything done. But I'm sure it's not a 125-inch buck either.
No, I bet it's not.
But anyway, so Rick's not here, and Lee is probably chasing deer all over Rangeley or somewhere around there. So anyway, we don't need them. We got Ben Allen and Stephan White.
Oh boy.
So the flies are terrible in here.
Oh,
the warmth just
it's been a bad year
woke
for
them
him.
up. So I'll let you know whenever one lands on your
Well, I felt
forehead.
it.
You got one right there on your mic too. That one likes you. Kill that thing.
Looks like we're doing a commercial for one of those kids, needy kids.
Gotta take a shower.
I was gonna say maybe a deodorant
commercial,
commercial or a Venus flytrap or something.
So just to give a little background, I met Stephan 6 seasons ago.
This is the 6th season.
Okay. And I guided him. Well, why don't you tell your story about how you...
All right. Well, you can finish. I would like to hear your side for a change,
right.
actually.
So I was told, that's the guy you're guiding. I'm like, him? But, Stephan and I hit it off right away. It's always nice. I mean, Ben guides a lot and understands how nice it is when you can hit it off and spend a week with someone that you really enjoy. And so anyway, we did you get guided the first year or 2 years?
The first 2.
Okay.
I fired you after the second one.
Yeah. And I accepted the fire.
No, you said grasshopper, it's time.
Yeah. Which obviously it was.
Yep. Worked out.
So we told Stephan's story on a see that's how you do it right there.
Grasshopper.
We told Stephan's story on another podcast with that Billy Moles was on.
Yeah. And
it was one of my favorite that we ever did, just because last year at this time Stephan had hunted 30,
I think it's 35. Not consecutive, but high 30s.
Yeah. 35 years without killing a deer. And I'm sure if he went to some food plot somewhere, went to someone's farm, it would be a lot easier just sitting, but he was determined to shoot a buck. I don't know if I would necessarily say, I mean, you were determined to get one tracking, but were you tracking in Vermont for those years when you were?
Not at all. Well, I would say not at all. Mostly just hunting and sitting.
Yeah.
Which is all I kind of knew. And that's kind of what you do in plots like that.
Sure.
It's a lot of posters and stuff.
Yeah. So there's a lot of people pulling for Steve.
Yes, there was.
To get his deer. I mean, in past years, if I tagged out or was done, we would go hunt somewhere, try, it was always whatever little bit you could, or everyone helped out trying to get Stephen into good spots and, pointing in the right direction. And I think, I don't know, I don't want to speak for you, but did you start questioning your existence and what you're even doing? Or no?
I did on was it Tuesday? Yeah. No, I mean, I enjoy it. If you don't enjoy the journey, what's the point?
That's right.
So tell us a little bit about the journey.
Oh, yeah. Well, I can't go through all 36 years we don't have much time, but it was, grew up in the suburbs of Boston. We have to revisit the whole thing, and I wasn't have access to guns or woods for that matter. And my biggest nature experience was summer camp. Turning rocks over and looking for salamanders, and became a big bird guy. But when I married my wife, Margaret, she was from Vermont, and I was so interested in the whole hunting experience. And my brother-in-laws she has 5 sisters, so they're all hunters, and I think 4 of the 5 are avid hunters. And they took me under their wing and showed me what they knew, and my father-in-law would take me out. And that's what I did. I mean, I went up Thanksgiving week. Sometimes I went up the week before. Stayed at the house, which is a whole experience in itself. I never had experience to wood stoves, and we'd get up really early in the morning, and my father-in-law would put on the AM radio and that grainy sound trying to get the weather. Just the environment, stuff like I never had access to, and
you probably didn't realize at the time how good it was because it was just normal, right?
Well, no, I guess kind of the point is I always wanted to go back because I enjoyed it so much. I kind of appreciated the things that I don't necessarily think you take for granted of living up north and things, but it's stuff that I'm not experienced with. And if you come down to the city, you're gonna be like, "Holy crap! Look at this place!" I'm like, "Yeah, whatever. It's a nightmare." There's things that I take for granted where I live. And my brother-in-law once said this to me. He goes, "You're so lucky to live down here." He was down in Boston visiting us, and I go, "What are you talking about?" I go, "I want to live where you live."
Right.
And so that's kind of the whole grass is greener thing. So I had the best of both worlds. I lived near the city and got to go up to Vermont for all these years. And but to get how I got here, I was getting sick of sitting, and I was getting a little discouraged, but I still liked being out. And my nephews, who are real avid hunters, that would come over to Maine. And maybe like, "Oh, why are they coming all the way over to Maine to hunt?" And meanwhile, they're shooting 200+ pound deer and stuff. And they'd invited me before, but I'd never had the guts to go out and venture out into the woods. Because if I went with them, sure, they'd help me, but I was going to be on my own. And they said, "Well, you should listen to this."
I was going to get that fly.
Yeah, should listen to this podcast. And so I have a little wood shop in the back of my house, and I put the podcast on with Joe and Hal and all the guys, and Ben, you've been on it, and they started describing the whole experience. And when you're sitting in a room by yourself doing a hobby, the mental pictures of walking through the woods, and I think I could do this, but I was afraid to go out in the woods. I mean, I turned around or be in the middle of nowhere. I mean, I can use a compass, but whatever. And you always talked about the big woods, and you got to be comfortable out in the woods. So they talked about having guided hunts, and I said that sounds like something I'd be interested in. So I signed up for it, and I actually requested Joe because I liked his demeanor on the podcast and sound like you were my style. And I didn't realize that I could be able to spend 8 hours in a tent with you.
It was a ground blind.
Whatever.
We didn't sleep in a tent.
No, that's what I mean. Well, okay. So my vernacular, my vocabulary is a little bit off, as you know. But anyway, so not to beat dead horse, but we hit it off, and it was a huge awakening. I remember saying it on the podcast that first year that it was life changing for me, and people don't get it, and that's okay.
That's just because they haven't tried it yet, right?
Yeah.
That's it. There's a lot of people that do get it.
Yeah, and I get now why, and especially now after what happened this week. But Joe talked about fitness. I'm like, yeah, I'll be in shape. Yeah. and you can be in great shape. You're not going to be in wood shape. And he didn't go out and kick my ass on purpose. I don't think. I think it was just the nature. We got on a track. It was like 6 inches of snow that day, and we're jumping over logs and going under stuff. And by Saturday, I was junk, but I was in much better place than I was when I started. And I just got addicted to it, and fell in love with Joe. Has just become a really good friend. And I don't mean that, with sleeping in a tent and
They get it. They get it.
Yeah. But we became good friends, and we hunted together the next year, and then after the second year, you could probably do this on your own. And I did, to some extent, that's true.
And if, honestly, if I would have, we had some deer encounters, but you never really had a shot at a buck. So, it's not like you were tripping over deer and had all these opportunities either,
That had nothing to do with it. But yeah, I get that. And it wasn't like we didn't go into all the right places, but it sort of drives home that it's not easy.
Right.
It's not easy.
That's,
you can you could be a world-class guide or hunter, an avid hunter, and hunt your whole life. You may not get a deer. Maybe you do, but everyone doesn't get one every year.
That's right.
But I think I don't think I was, without having you here or having access to people where I'm out in the middle of nowhere and I tell people where I am and have access to, like, hey, I might need some help here. I don't think I'm quite there yet, but I think I'm close enough where I couldn't light a fire the other day, which is kind of So we were talking about Alive at breakfast and how long we'd survive, and I said I could probably last 3 days. I don't think so.
Well, it depends on what the climate was.
That's right.
My daughter's like, "Oh, Dad,
you probably couldn't South Texas."
Right.
My kids think I can last months. I don't. No, but I go.
Keep that image, Stephen. Let them think that.
I know. But it was. But I'll never not do this. I said this, and it's kind of my fitness goal every year, which is always good because you don't want to come up here and just be a loaf of bread and just roll out and do the first 100 yards like everybody else. You want to get out and.
That's right.
And for me, that meant a lot when you said that, because you said that right from the beginning. He's like, I'll never not do this. I'm coming every year that I can. And I love hearing that because I feel like, all right, we got another one in the tribe.
That's right.
You get someone else that, because as much as, people talk about the guys from out of state coming up and hunting and everything else, is we need it. Without numbers, it's going to go away.
Yeah.
And no one wants to hunt in crowded woods or anything, but the more people you can bring in and expose to it and get them to see, like, hey, look how great this is. Look at what a challenge it is.
Yep.
The better off we all are.
And I think I remember you guys talking about that on a podcast where you try to pass the torch. You
That's
get your daughters
what it's
hunting.
all about. That's right.
I mean, you get people like brought my son and your daughter and son-in-law hunt, and I think it's important. Like Billy was saying, next thing you know, the guns are going to go away because no one's hunting. You don't need the guns, right? So
that's right. That's their goal.
Yep.
So anyway,
yeah.
So we come to this year.
Yeah.
Well, hang on. So last year, which you talked about a little bit, but you did have an encounter last year, and you came close.
I did.
You just kept inching a little bit closer.
Yeah. Last year was something interesting. It was actually the first day, and it was miserable, rainy, windy, which I come to find now is very welcoming conditions for deer hunting. And I was going up that, Buttercup Pass, whatever you want to call it there, and that dirt road. And I was going up, and I this is probably the first half hour, and the deer came out in front of me probably 35 yards, and I picked the gun up and fired without even putting the scope on it. Like, I just come off a duck season, which is a little different. And I don't remember putting the scope on it, but I think I probably did. But I ended up hitting it, missing to the right. The thing took off that way, and I aimed left, and I put my eye up to the scope, and it was all fogged up. So I did my best and took a shot, and I missed. But at the end of the day, I realized I kind of panicked. And we all talked about slowing it down, and I've come to find out that's really good advice. And so that was very, it was, to me, I'm like, okay, I'm getting close. Like, I'm getting closer to the deer. I didn't see anything, I don't think, for the rest of the week, but got a lot of miles in. I did a lot of poke around. I got lost once, which was actually a really good experience at the end. At the time, I was like, holy shit. Like, okay. But I took a breath and slowed it down.
And so I remember last year having this conversation at the end of the season about what week you were coming back, because you really wanted snow.
Yeah.
Everyone wants snow, right? Coming up tracking. But when you can pick your weeks and when you want to come, you sit there and look at it. And I know that the conversation, and we knew Billy was coming back, and you guys hit it off. So
yep.
you know, he kind of wanted to come back the same week. So it was week 2, and I always tell everyone that's wanting to pick their best week for snow and everything, there is no way to know.
Yeah, you're right.
Week 1 we've
You're
had
right.
is the best week. I mean,
Yeah.
it can go any way. I mean, obviously later in the season, over the long haul is probably a better chance, but this year we've got good snow.
Well, the rut, timing of the rut, the cold air, all that stuff, and
2 and 3 are my 2 favorite weeks, but.
Well, I agree. And we had snow my first year, the very first day, and I was like all excited, and the deer didn't do anything. It's almost like they don't do anything in the first.
That first one, they're always laid up, and
Listen to me.
Yeah, look at
You're learning, man.
speaking the lingo.
You guys done good.
So we get to this year, right? So it's it was Wednesday, yesterday.
Yeah. 12th. November 12th. Ben has been so great to me ever since I've been here, and he's been so generous with like sharing spots, and and so on Sunday night I said, okay, what do you think? And I knew he was going one place, and he said I was going to go somewhere else. He said, why don't you try this area? And so I did. It was one of those dirt roads, and it was kind of intimidating first because going in there, it's almost another mile in once you get off the main road. I'm like, okay. But I got acclimated pretty quick, and I actually found this really good line of scrapes. There's probably 6 or 7 of them within 300 yards. I'm like, wow, this is pretty amazing. And I tracked around. I got on a track. It was fairly fresh. And I ended up getting down into a swamp and lost the track. And to be perfectly honest, I was like, what am I going to do if I get a deer in here?
Give us a call. Give us a call.
Yeah, and then I said, that's stupid. We'll figure it out. But I ended up losing the track. And but I did. It was a really great spot. And I actually went back there and froze the next day. And then moved to another place where somebody had already been sitting. So actually on Tuesday was probably not a really great day of hunting. And I kind of got discouraged because you don't really want to see a lot of people when you come up hunting. And I moved to 2 places and I saw people, and I'm like, eh. So on Wednesday morning, I was talking to Joe, and Joe was like, I know you're thinking about sitting today, but I think you really should try.
Well, we had talked the night before, and I think I said you ought to sit in this spot because my clients were done and we're going home.
Yeah.
And with no snow, I would have felt good with you sitting there, but
I'm glad you did a 180.
Yeah, well, I got up in the morning. I'm like, you can't go sit somewhere.
That's right.
It comes
All
up here to
fresh
track.
snow, that's right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, so I'm not going to end the story in the beginning, but outside of the beginning, I won't end it with the end. I won't start with the end. But anyways, I got on a track. It was still dark out, which I think is funny. I think it's about duck season where not to get off, but shooting time in the morning is still pitch black. But you can't shoot after a certain time at night, and it's still light out, which that makes no sense. And deer is kind of the same thing. It was really dark at 6:30 in the morning. So I was sort of walking, and I saw some tracks, and I waited to get a little lighter. And I found this track, and I said, okay, well, this looks pretty fresh. It's coming across a road. And I got on it, and it was super fun. Like, I can tell you that the time flew by. And if I look at the topography on Onyx now, and I can see the elevations and the places the deer took me, and we were talking about it, almost like he knew I was on his ass because he would veer. I was like, Ben, I thought I was on this track, and I had a bead on. Next thing I know, I lost it, and I had to go back and realize he veered into some scrub, and that's what they do. And I was been using the example where you get it to a log, and it's at a height. Okay, do you want to jump over the log, or do you want to go under the log? And then I'm going under it, and I'm getting up. My knees is killing me because I've been doing the same thing for the past mile. And but anyways, I got to a fork in this opening, and one went downhill and went left, right towards another cut. And I used that Yogi Berra phrase. I saw a fork in the road, so I took it. So I'm trying to figure out which track was better. I just made an executive decision and went left a few steps. I said, wait a minute, I'm going to went back and check the other one. No, mine went left. So I ended up going left down this hill and then around a corner. And we were talking, Ben and I were talking about, you get so focused on the track, you forget to look every once in a while. And I got into this cut, and I looked up, and there was this big buck looking at me right in the face, 35, 40 yards away.
Awesome.
I'm like, holy shit.
I can't screw this up.
So I pulled the gun up a little bit, and then he put his head down, and I pulled the grunt. And he said to grunt often, and I was grunting a little bit. I told you a couple of times it wheezed because it was full of snow. And I grunted, it's like, "Nee," and then
I didn't hear that part.
So finally get down to the right tone.
What helps just for future is turn it around.
Yep.
And blow
the other
backwards
way.
through it and just
Yeah.
warm it up.
Yeah.
And then it cleans it up.
No, yeah. Well, thanks. And so, anyways, after I grunted, a doe came out and she wheezed at me, whatever you want to call it.
She blew at you.
So
You have a hard time.
Meanwhile, the buck is still right there with his head down.
I couldn't
Oh,
tell
you
where
couldn't.
it was.
Oh, okay.
And we come to find out what he was doing, but I thought maybe he went around the corner. There's another cut on the other side. And
skid trail. That's it.
Okay.
So yeah,
It's not a cut?
you were on a skid trail.
Yep.
Walking, and then there was a buffer between the two skid trails.
Yeah, that was all. Yeah, but okay. Yeah, and so
I'm not trying to correct. I'm just
you're trying
terminology.
Put a picture together.
Just trying to get people picture.
They know better than me. Yeah. This is my mind's eye. And listening to it. Anyway, so yeah, the doe ended up going back in the woods, and I grunted again, and the buck pulled his head up. Okay, this is interesting. And he started walking towards me, and I picked the gun up as calm could be. And I put it right on his chest, and I waited another few seconds and got into the clear, and I took a shot. And I had been to the shooting range the week before with my son, sighting in the rifle, and I did great when I was leaning on something. We talked about having the stick or whatever. But I said I better stand up and practice without having guidance, because that could be the situation. I remember Hal's always like, "You're not going to have much time." So I, at the range, I took 5 or 6 shots, and I was in reasonable distance, so from the bullseye, and I knew I hit it. I was confident I hit it. I was calm. I didn't shake. It veered off into the woods, and I'm like, "Gosh, shoot!" So I walked up, and I was looking around for blood. Nothing. Saw where it ran into the woods. And Joe had a conversation with one of his friends the other day. We were talking about finding hair. And I looked over, and there was a pile of hair, a big pile of hair.
Mm-hmm.
And so I knew I hit it, and but I didn't see any blood. And I texted Joe while I in-reached him. I said, "Hair, no blood." And so I walked a couple steps back and followed it where he went in. I saw a spot of blood. And I said, "Okay, well, I got blood, I got tracks, and I got all day. Now everything's going. I still had a full bottle of water. I still had a sandwich. I didn't have to go to the bathroom or any of that stuff. You don't think of anything. I wasn't drinking or eating. I was so excited. I was so excited. And I mean, if you don't pay attention to the grueling haul that you're taking when you're following a track, the excitement is just crazy. Anyway, so I found some blood, and I texted Joe. I got blood, and I went maybe 10 steps through that uncut area.
Yeah.
And I look over to my right, and there's a deer laying right there.
Yeah, he didn't go anywhere.
Awesome.
Didn't.
Awesome.
And can I swear? No. I texted Joe through the inReach. I said, "Deer effing down." And I don't know how much you want to hear, but I it was kind of a moment, you know. I did weep, and then I started laughing. And then I used the analogy the other night where Herb Brooks in that movie Miracle, where they win the gold medal, and he didn't want anyone to see his emotions, so he went under the stands. He started pumping his fist like,
yeah.
And I did that like 5 or 6 times, and I laughed, and I laughed. It was like, holy crap!
That's just you and the deer.
That's right.
And that's exactly what happens.
Yeah.
It is just you out there, right?
That's right.
Yep.
And then I don't know. I spent just a lot of time just like not even thinking about what I had to do next. I was just enjoying it, you know.
Yeah. You it's funny that you mentioned that about it's just, that you're there and you're kind of just hanging out with the deer, because I just saw a post by Mark Kenyon, and he was doing just that. He just shot a big buck, and a friend of his was going to get a 4-wheeler or something, and so he had all this time. He's just sitting there, and he said, soak that moment in, enjoy it. And I think I mean, I've been hunting a long time and have killed a few deer, and it never gets old.
No, never. No way.
You get there and you soak it in, and a lot of times you have certain people that you want to either message right away or call right away, and mine is always my wife that send a text out first, and in fact she was the first person after you texted me that I sent a text to.
That's pretty cool.
That was really funny what she said, actually. Tell it. Last night at dinner, she said when you texted, she knew I got a deer because you wouldn't have texted her friend.
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah, right.
Oh really? I didn't hear that.
Yeah,
like, man, these people are really pulling for me.
Everyone was pulling for you.
Oh man, we were so excited.
I couldn't.
Yeah. So I was I was able to go out yesterday morning and I was on a good track, and it was really conflicted because I got the text from Steve and I'm like, oof, I'm on this track. I really want to go over and help him out because I knew he hadn't gutted one, so I kind of wanted to, help him through it or whatever, and teach him how to do it, but then I'm on this buck, and I was like, it'd also be cool if we both kill one the same day.
Sure
that'd
would.
be fun too. Yeah. So I ended up. It wasn't long after that my deer crossed a stream that just I wasn't crossing yesterday. It was deep, fast, and wide, and so I headed back to the truck and headed for Stephen. So it's to me, I've got more time in the month to hunt, and times like going out and spending with your friend.
That's it.
Especially on his first year, you don't.
Such a short amount of
time.
time. That's right. That's right.
And so I was glad I was able to. And besides the fact that you would have had a hell of a day dragging out because you couldn't get your truck into where it was, where I was able to. So
yeah, it would have taken me quite a while.
But the beautiful part, he was less than 75 yards to the road.
Oh yeah.
Well, if you have a vehicle like yours, it's 75 yards from the road.
Yeah, it was just I had to go through a big washout. That was pretty bad. But
your domestic truck wasn't getting through that.
No. So it's great having the technology to be able to just send a pin and coordinates and know where someone is. Actually, I got it off your inReach. I was able to just look at the map and I knew the spot. So
it just goes to show you, though. I mean, what kind of a person you are. Honestly, I didn't expect you to come. I wanted you to come. We had talked about it for the past 5 years. Like, if you too, if you need anything, just text me. I'll come get you or whatever. And when you said you were on a big track, I texted you back. I said, "It'd be great if we both got one," And then I said to myself, "I got to put my big pants on today." I'm looking at there's just me and you, brother. It all happens for a reason.
Yeah,
that's
right.
All happens for a reason.
So talk about your field dressing.
Oh, do I have to?
Yeah, I haven't heard this yet.
You haven't?
No, I haven't heard this
Jesus.
part.
This is what separates flatlanders from other people. So Billy had asked me what I would do, and I said, well, if there's cell coverage, I'd just pull up a YouTube video. I've only seen it a couple of times, and it was like a long time ago. And there's always the stories about cutting around the anus and all this other stuff, whatever. So I had actually that day stripped down to a fanny pack. I had a bigger backpack and a bunch of shit in it, and all this first aid kit, which I needed some of it just in case. I don't really need a life blanket, but I kept it in there. But I really limited to one water bottle, and I had two booklets that were waterproof. One was survival skills in the woods, and I threw that on the table. I'm not gonna need that. I said, I get this one right here.
In hindsight, to help start a fire, you need
those matches are blowtorches, and I still couldn't light a fire. And so the other one was how to field dress a deer. Is that the right terminology?
Yeah.
Okay. And it was this little binder with 10 flip tabs on it, and then I pulled it out and put my glasses on.
That's how you did it. Oh,
I did,
interesting.
and so I had I'm very literal. I'm a list guy, and so it said, okay, straddle the deer, make sure it's downhill, and so the deer's face is in my ass, and I'm opening up the legs, and I find the sternum. And I'd skinned a duck, breasting ducks, so I kind of understood what the fat layer was and stuff. So I did that okay. But when it got to the ass, I was just beside myself. I had no idea. It's like, don't cut this and don't do this, and and I probably shouldn't say this, but I actually cut around it and I put my thumb up there to try to push it through into the deer, and it didn't work. So then I basically did what you did. Is I just got my arm in there and started cutting away and pushing all the guts out. And Joe says I did okay. He's just trying to make me feel good, but I did leave the heart in there.
Yep.
And I started dragging it, and something came out of its ass. I was dragging it behind it. I said, "Oh my God!" So I just went back and just cut that off. And I said,
"You really actually did a good job." I got there and looked at it. That was no problem at all.
It was a list, but the bad thing is I left that guidebook out in the woods somewhere, and I'm hoping you find it when you go.
I'll pick it up
with my shell.
But yeah, the only thing I was concerned about was the tenderloins, the inner loins.
Oh yes,
and that he didn't get down there.
Good.
When trying to do it, butcher them up, and there was just one little slice.
Yeah.
No,
there's those membranes, like they're weird when you pull the organs out. There's like a membrane there.
No, it's just two little pieces of meat that are right along the spine.
Oh, I know what those are, but there's like it's like a translucent kind of membrane that's sort of attached to the organs. Yeah. That's sort of why I concentrated on cutting it out.
Okay. Yeah.
I knew the dark pink stuff was meat, and I tried to stay away from that.
Yeah. So it's not as like the book going around this. It's great it worked for you, but if you had someone just showing you it's not that intimidating. You did good.
Well, the book actually said the gut should flow out now, and I'm like, okay, wait.
You waiting for it to just flow out?
No, but it didn't happen that way. So I'm picking up the legs. But it was, I'll tell you, I'm not in great shape. I'm in reasonable shape. I did a lot of leg work this year and tried to be in shape, and I started pulling that thing. I'm like, man.
That'll let you know quickly.
Yep. And then, so I was doing 20, 30 feet at a time, and Joe said, give me that freaking thing. And I was going up towards this field because left was really thick, and Joe just said, no, we're going this way, and we went through that, and it was just amazing. I couldn't tell you. I kept telling you how grateful I was, because it's just good it's also good to share it with somebody.
Oh, it is. It's better. Yeah, I think it's better when you get to experience it with somebody else, especially somebody you're close to. And yeah.
We always say that about moose hunting, because moose hunting is a lot more of a social event.
Yeah.
There's usually always more than one person there, and no one moose hunts alone, and
that's right.
And so it's more of a social thing. So deer hunting, it's after the kill is always like that. You see a lot of, I love seeing people that get that whole experience and people that appreciate it. And
that's right.
Spend the time and relive the story. And,
that's right.
And and it was fun when I got there.
Yeah.
I mean, just I was so excited to hear how it all went down, and all the details, and see where it happened. So,
and I'd spend a little time retracing my steps just because I knew you were going to ask.
And you had time.
Hold me accountable. But you talk about social. Can I just interject for something? I was interested in you had bought a trailer, you said, but you also set up these big tents. And how many people are in your camp? Like at these?
Oh, in moose camp?
Yeah.
Oh, switching gears here. So we.
Oh, sorry. You're talking about the social. I thought that was really kind of cool.
Yeah. No. So Joe does about the same thing too. We try to take 5 groups of hunters and with their guides, and then we have a cook and so
it's 12 to 15 people in camp.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
It's all cooking outside.
We actually, so this year we actually had a lot of people bringing extra people. So we had some pretty big camps this year for a little more than I liked, but it worked out good. We had good groups and everybody was okay with it. So, so we had around 20 in camp each week. But
that's a lot.
Yeah.
These big canvas tents, or what are they like?
Yeah, they're wall tents.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's really neat.
Yeah. What I do, mine's a little bit. Do you have wall tents for sleeping also?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
So mine's a little different, where I use wall tents for the common area, the cooking, and where everyone gathers, and then my sleep tents are Cabela's Instinct.
Yeah.
Instinct tents. Yeah.
Oh, that's cool.
Okay.
But I love those tents. They just don't make them anymore, so I got to switch to something else because they'll wear out eventually. We went for a long time with those Alaknak.
Okay. That's what I started off with.
Yeah, those are cheap tents.
I'm not a big fan of them.
No,
they just pop-up tents, or
they're center pole with 4-corner. They're easy to set up, and they were a good tent to start with, but they don't last.
Yeah.
And they're not as good as a wall tent.
So people sit around like the campfire at night. And
we try to give them the whole experience.
Yeah.
There's give them a good dinner when they get back. Everybody tells their stories. If it's good weather, we start the fire, and it's a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Moose camp is fun.
Yeah.
If you wanted to come up next year just to come for a few days just to experience camp, even if you don't have a tag.
I don't know. I might get a tag after this year. Everything's fine.
Hey, there you go.
You might.
There you go.
Next time the list is moose.
That'd be great.
I'm fascinated by it. That's another experience when I listen to you guys talk. Like they get these tents and it's the comfort food and you're in the middle of nowhere. I imagine the stars are amazing. You know,
from a logistics standpoint, I love hunting out of the lodge. It's just, I mean, it's obviously easier as far as, for the guests and everything. Everyone has a shower and all that, but there's just nothing like remote camp.
Nope.
I mean, it's
right.
a lot of fun.
I can't imagine.
And ideally, I like having remote camp the first season and back here at the lodge the second, but it's all on who calls and books a hunt, so you never know where you're going to end up. But you definitely need to be putting in for the...
Oh, I have been. I'm sure I could probably pay a little more to get more points or something like that. I don't know.
Yeah, don't bother. It doesn't... Yeah. It doesn't help that much.
I know. I've heard stories of people getting it the first time and they've ever put it in, and some people haven't got it.
I hear it every year. I hear both ends of the spectrum every year.
Yeah. Yep.
Did you get a permit through being a guide, or is it you?
No.
So your clients,
they're contacting
I know you
me.
get one because of the lodge, right?
Yeah, lodge tag. Yeah.
Yeah.
But
that's a whole different animal, though. Moose hunting. It's
you're ready for it now. You got your deer. Now you want to go moose hunting.
Yeah.
My brother-in-law says they're just going to come. The deer are going to come easy now, so you might as well move on to moose.
Yeah. Well, moose are. I mean, it's just a lot different. It's not as challenging as getting a deer. I mean, moose hunting is definitely more difficult this year than it has been in the past, just because of the state of the way things are. But
you can communicate with them, and
you
can get them to communicate back with you, and that's what makes it so exciting for me. Oh, I just love it. I do love it.
You don't have to. It's the opposite of being quiet. You got to make all sorts of noise, right?
That's right. You got to make the right noise at the right time.
Yeah.
And that's what just figuring it out. It's like hunting a big turkey. You just gotta figure them out.
Yep. That's another thing I like. I've done once with my brother-in-law turkey hunting. I think that's awesome.
Yeah.
Get them to respond. And
It's
often they're a long ways away, and you get them to come in, and they're smarter than you think.
Oh yeah.
And they can see from miles, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that is the communication aspect. To me, is probably the best part of
the moose hunt.
Yeah. But deer, you don't hear them obviously communicate back with the. I mean, you do sometimes if they're grunting, but I mean that's what you're doing. I think that's what got that deer is the grunt.
I agree. You told me to grunt, and I wasn't. I heard you do it enough, and I figured other than a couple whistles here and there, I think if I made a lot of noise, I knew I had a grunt. And I do think he responded to it, and would come to find out that deer was putting down a scrape. Which why he disappeared.
Okay.
He was putting his head down, and he was pawing, and then he would bring it back up.
So the timing of the grunt was like perfect.
Perfect. That's right.
Yeah. So amazing.
And the doe was right there. You said.
I think I don't know if she winded me or if she just was uncomfortable, or maybe she was doing that to the buck, but she came down the path where he ended up following, but she ducked into the woods after a bit, and then when I grunted again, that's when he popped up and came right down the path where she was.
Okay.
I'm still dying to figure out where the entrance is of the bullet, because I didn't see it anywhere.
Did you tell Butch to look?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, he'll dissect it and figure it all out. We had him do an autopsy on a moose at the end of the season too, because we were curious about that.
His son was there. Skinning a deer, and they're just like, oh hey, we saw you on this video, whatever. And I said, hey, cool. I go, did you shoot that deer? I go, yeah. He goes, yeah. He goes, your first one? He goes, no, it's my 10th.
Yeah,
he's in double digits.
Yeah, that's funny.
It was awesome though. The kid's how much? 10 years old, and he's out there skinning his own deer.
That's awesome. Good for him.
Yeah. That's a whole different world. He's
So that would be Rick's.
Yeah, well,
that's
Butch is Rick's nephew.
Okay, so whatever that is, second.
Yeah, Keegan's his boy.
Oh, okay.
And he's Butch has him out every minute he can, and
good for him.
Yeah,
nice.
He's gonna be a heck of a woodsman when he gets older.
Oh man, yeah.
Because to me, that's we've talked about it before. I've said it. When you can grow up in it like that, when you're a kid, is when you're absorbing the most that you're going to absorb.
Yeah,
and it's just natural, like it's just normal
that's right.
stuff, as opposed to someone that's 25 and just starting out in it, trying to learn it.
Yep.
There's no way that you can catch up.
Nope.
Yeah, but
I've grown up, just like Joe was saying. It was when I was little. I actually remember when I was my earliest memories are of. I mean, I was little, and I don't even dare say how old, but I mean, it's earliest memories that I can remember. I'd come back to the house, and I'd get my sister, and I say, "Hey, you want to go out and see the deer?" And she said, "What?" And so I'd run her out in the woods, and every day at, let's just say 3:30, it was in the afternoon,
Yeah.
I'd run her out in the woods, and we'd see the deer running off almost every day.
That's cool.
And so that's something I've just been able to do it. I've just always been in the woods. I got fortunate. My grandfather owned a bunch of land out behind our house, and I just roamed, and that's what I did. So it comes. I don't want to say it comes natural because I haven't killed. I'm not a Rick Labby. You know what I mean? I don't kill a big buck every year. But
I talked to you about this the other day where, you don't even live around here, right? But every time you come over here, you see a lot of deer.
Yeah.
A lot of buck.
But I think it's just, for me, I took what I knew back home and just applied it up here. And it's no different, just a way bigger scale,
And another thing is that you're a logger. You cut wood. And that's it. So being in the woods all the time, you just, it's in you.
Yeah.
And you got a hunt coming up, don't you?
Yes, I do. Next week. I'm looking forward to it.
What are you doing?
I'm going up to my buddy Tyler's camp up in Zone 2. And I've never hunted Zone 2 before, but during moose season, we were seeing a bunch of deer around. I've set a bunch of pins and stuff. So, awesome. Looking forward to it.
A camper?
No, he's got a camp. He's got a nice camp on a pond there. And I'm this old log cabin, just like classic Maine camp there.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
How many of you?
So me and my two buddies, Brandon and Tom, they're brothers, and they've really, since I started hunting up in the North Maine woods, they've been with me the whole time. So yeah.
Oh, they're the ones that do the remote camp with you every year?
Yes.
Okay.
Yep.
All right.
Yep.
Good deal.
That's awesome.
Nice.
We're gonna do something different. Not have to worry about tearing down a tent. It'll be fun.
You imagine not to wait on people. Yeah, it's very nice break.
It is.
It's a long season for you guys, honestly. I mean, if you think of it, it's a sprint, right?
And that's it.
When you trap in the off season.
That's it. And we did some bear hunting this year and stuff. So starts really in August when you're baiting right until now. Now I finally am going to be able to go do some hunting myself.
But now you do it fishing too. Throw that in there.
That's it. And that's it. And that's, that's a little different, but because I don't care if I like to fish, but it's not like hunting, I got to hunt. Yeah. So
how many weeks of moose season did you do? 3 or 4?
We did 3 this year.
Yeah. That's enough.
Yeah. We just planned it so we had the week off from the last moose hunt, bull hunt. We had a week off and then did 1 cow season. Yeah.
I told my son this. There was a guy who owns a bait shop up in North Hero. Oh no, it was Milton, Vermont. And I walked in. I was like, "Man, I'd love to own a bait shop." He's like, "Why?" Because I have to work during all the fishing tournaments.
Oh, good point.
You guys have to hunt, fish, guide during all the hunting weeks, and so you miss out on all the stuff that you love to do, but you do it because you love it.
That's it.
It's kind of a dilemma, but you want to at least carve out some time for yourself.
When you were talking about Vermont, it just made me think that you missed a whole part of that story. Is your mother-in-law?
Oh, Nancy.
And I want you.
I
want to just circle back real quick.
Nancy Edward.
Yeah,
that's what we call
because
her.
that was kind of cool when we realized what day it was.
Yeah. Well, she was the den mother of the hunting camp. She cooked for us, and she had our meals in the morning. And my father and I had poached egg on toast and listened to that grainy radio. Send me out with my lunch and say today's the day, and come back empty-handed. You get them tomorrow. Then every year is like, you're coming up. This is your year. You're going to come up for deer camp, right? It's almost been on. I probably did it until 2 years before she passed away, and I started staying at my sister-in-law's. But the day that I shot the deer was the 4th year anniversary of her death. It was to the day on the 12th of November. And my brother-in-law had sent me a text that morning and said, "This is Nancy Edwards going to be with you this week. Good luck."
Yeah.
Wow. I couldn't believe it. So I texted Margaret. I said, I got a deer or whatever. She was like, "It's just unbelievable. It's 40 years to the day." So my mother passed away. Yeah.
Wow. That just adds to the whole story. That makes it even more special. Yeah.
I kind of cut that off. I told it earlier, and I know that people have heard it. I don't want to beat a dead horse, but my in-laws mean the world to me, and it was, I owe a lot to my nephews who bring me out hunting, my brother-in-laws and stuff. And, And my father.
Sounds like you married into a great family.
Sure does.
Yeah, they got the short end of the stick for sure.
You can say that again. God.
But it was a perfect for me because they were so willing to like take this city guy and teach him how to hunt, and I was so willing to learn because it was just amazing to me that they got to do this.
Yeah.
I mean, even if I was sitting for 8 hours a day, it was still amazing because the air was clean.
Yeah.
You know, the fresh snowfall. We talked about how beautiful it can be.
I sat for the last hour this afternoon. I went to a spot and sat, and it does not get any prettier than it was this afternoon.
Yeah.
It was that light snowfall, and everything was white.
Yes.
I mean, it's just, I'd sitting there taking it in.
You said that to me the other day. I think you were talking to Liz and said, this never gets old. I forget what was the example you gave me, but he was like, it's just I never get sick of how beautiful it is up here.
No, it's special.
It is.
And, I also thought too when you were talking about Vermont, did you happen to see the guys from Northwoods Whitetails that came over this way last week?
So I heard they got some good ones. I saw one picture, but
they did good, man.
Awesome.
They came over.
Awesome.
They killed. I think it was at least 3 or 4.
I heard
really
3.
good bucks.
I heard yes.
And
Good for them.
just it is, and it's anyone that hunts up here knows it's not easy. They
Who's
come
the guy?
over here.
Who are they? Were the guys a podcaster or?
Northwoods Whitetails, they do have a podcast.
I think so.
Yeah.
Is it
And they have a
Rodney,
YouTube channel
Elmer
and
or
stuff.
something?
No, that's Mountain Deer.
Okay, he's from Northfield, Vermont.
Yep.
Believe it or not. Yeah, and that's where my in-laws are from.
Yeah, a lot of good hunters come over from Vermont, hunt Maine.
My nephews are 2 of them.
Yeah.
They'll be listening to this. Bobby and Zach, amazing.
Yeah. Yeah. So they you said they're going to be up.
They're over in Rangeley. And
They're over there now?
Yeah, Bobby's been over here. He shot a deer that one year. With me.
Yeah. I remember. I know Bobby. I met him a couple times. He came
Yeah,
up.
he came over. My wife Margaret gave me the permission to come over for Thanksgiving week because my nephew was coming, and it'd be great to spend time with him. And he shot a deer the first day, went home.
Yeah.
And it was I felt bad because it was a deer I should have shot because he comes up here and shoots 200 pounders. I don't know if it was 120 pounds or whatever. But it was an amazing experience because we were standing next to each other when it happened. Like,
Awesome.
it's hard enough with one person,
Right.
2. He's not a guy, and I'm not a guy. And it was not the deer we were tracking. Just deer happened to be in the wrong place at the wrong time. Yeah, it's pretty funny.
He pushed you down and shot it.
No, because I had my scope on. I said, "There's a deer," and he goes, "Does it have horns?" I go, "Yeah." And I think he was waiting for me to shoot, and he knows better than to wait. He just shot.
Yeah.
And then we get up there, and he's like. So
Bobby.
I said, I'm going to follow this track.
That was fun.
But you know what?
Oh, we had a great time.
It worked out great.
It did.
Because the one you got, that's the deer that was meant for you.
That's
and
right.
It's a beautiful buck.
buck.
8-pointer, 177.
Oh, it's 6, but that's 2 times broken.
Yeah,
up.
I keep on calling it 8.
I'll take
Yeah.
8.
Yeah.
I'll take 6. I'll take
It's
2.
a mainframe 8-pointer. It had the brows.
Beautiful
and they're all-
buck.
It is beautiful. I was like, I'm happy. It's a bonus. I mean, I would have shot a spike, but
Yep.
damn, if you can shoot your first one, that's pretty good.
That's a good one. That's right.
And then Ben LaRoche, who's, I think this is his 5th year
Yeah.
coming up.
Yep.
He shot a beautiful buck today.
Oh, yeah.
177, but
We were-
big rack.
We were laughing because
Nice
I
rack.
met him at Bishop's, and they're pulling, and it was looked like a much bigger deer than mine, and it was grayer, so it must have been a little bit older. And at least that's what they told me. Anyway,
They're just different colors.
They're pulling them up on the thing, and I was expecting to hear 2 bills all day long. And he's looking up at the thing, and his big smile comes on his face. He goes, "You're not gonna believe this. Is 177, exact same,
Exact same as yours.
exact same way."
Wow.
Which, body size, yours was definitely bigger because his rack weighed more than
That's
yours.
what I said to him. I said, I give you 10 pounds for the rack. I said, and you should have seen us try to fiddle with the game pole. Oh my gosh! And I'm not handy at all. And we were trying to figure out how to rig that thing, and we got the pulley all wrapped up with the cable, and oh my gosh, we had to go get borrow tools to get it fixed.
Oh, you went that far with it, huh?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. Sorry, I missed it.
I said, by the way, we're going to
sideline.
take my deer down now. And he was like, oh, no way. Yeah, so we had to take my deer down and put his up.
So also wanted to, we're going to be wrapping up here in a minute. So wanted to take a minute again to thank our sponsors. And speaking of one of them is Gary Williamson, who's sells real estate over in Western Maine. He made a post. They shot some nice bucks over there.
They did.
So they got it going on. Yeah, and I think his
right.
boy shot one out in one of the Midwest states as well. So they're having a good season.
Good deal.
But yeah, if you need anything, check out Gary. Good guy. He'll help you out. And of course, Walker Knives. As always, he's there for us and got a great product. I'm not sure how he's doing on stock. I know that
they selling out. Good.
Selling out. We started this. We got a partnership with Stagger Gear, which last time we did the podcast and we kind of got things rolling. I didn't have much time at all in the woods using them, but I've got some time. And I'm going to tell you that the thing that sticks out to me the most is the pants.
I was going to say I want to try the pants so bad. But
They are good. Like they're they fit like pajamas.
Okay.
They're super comfortable. I was concerned about two things. I was concerned about getting wet, and I was concerned about the noise. And I've been completely dry. We've been in wet, snowy conditions, rain. I mean, we hunted in the pouring rain, not pouring rain, but it was raining.
Yep.
I was soaked on my upper part. I had the Stagger jacket, but those aren't going to, the water's going to go through,
right.
But you're still going to stay warm. But other than the rain, just in the normal conditions, it's almost, all I've been wearing this week is just one thin, like long sleeve T-shirt underneath and the jacket.
It's been plenty
hot, yeah.
Nice.
So really, really am liking the Stagger Gear so far, and the gloves too, of course. But if you're interested in checking them out, if you buy anything, use the promo code TTN for 10% off. Then another one of our sponsors is Peak Taxidermy, Jeff at Peak Taxidermy, and that's where
see him Saturday.
That's where Steve's taking his deer.
Yeah,
so,
can't wait.
Nice.
And he'll do a beautiful job for you, I know. So
Margaret said he's keeping the antlers. I said I'm mounting the head. She says great.
Yep.
It's got a fireplace.
You got a great wife, man. She's right into it.
She is. Oh,
She was so excited when we called.
Can I tell a pickleball story?
Yeah.
I called her to tell her. So obviously, besides you, she was the next person I called, and she didn't pick up her phone. And she texts me back, and she says, "You okay? Is everything all right? I saw you called. I'm in the middle of a pickleball game. Blah blah blah." And I said, "Yeah, I just shot a deer or something like that. I misspelled it.
Ahooed.
Ahooed. I just ahooed a deer."
She's in her mind is racing. What does that mean?
What is he doing up there in the woods?
What's he doing to the deer? Meanwhile, he's straddling the head with his little manual out, ahooing the deer.
I can't swear, but and then so you heard because she had called me when we were in the car together. She's like, "Oh my God, I can't believe it."
And she understands. She grew up in a hunting family. That's
it's a
she
thing.
knows what it means, and it's almost as cool as it is, and as happy as everyone is for you. It's a little bit bittersweet, because it's like every year it was all right.
Steve, that's true.
But
yeah, it was like the Red Sox. They never won the World Series till 2004, and now, well, maybe I'll start my own guide service. No chance. I can't wait for next year. Actually, I'm saying Billy, I had buck fever. He goes, "If you don't have buck fever now," he goes, "You've got buck fever. You've been doing this for 30 years."
That's right.
Well, and something you said when I got there and we're talking and he's reliving it and everything. You were just, I can't wait to do it again. I can't wait. Like it got you, And there is something about that when you're there and it's so quiet and the deer's, you see the deer that you've been after for a couple in hours. Your case 30 years.
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
And so there is something special about it. It's what brings us all back and doing it, it's without a doubt the best time of year. For me, it's starting September 1st is when it marks it off, when it changes for me and you feel fall and we get all this hunting in and it's just nothing like it.
No, I know. We start talking about it,
Right, planning for next year already.
Yeah, I know. Yeah. What not to bring, but it's absolutely. There's a little serenity there if you shoot the deer and you're standing by yourself. You get lost. You're with yourself.
That's it.
Like, okay, you have these thoughts. Like I never experienced anything like that before, and I never knew what it was going to feel like. But I was like, wow.
So
Yeah.
It's just
It's
And that,
addictive.
yeah.
that part, as much as I obviously would have loved to have killed a deer with you
Yeah.
when I was guiding you, honestly, I think it was much better that you did it.
Yeah.
You know, not only that you did it on your own, but to have that
Yep.
that experience and be there and, you know, kind of soak it in and text people and,
Yeah.
you know, share the excitement and everything. So,
I'll just end it with this. You draw it up in all the podcasts and books that I read and all my visuals from watching YouTube videos and stuff. And I had a mental image of how my experience, I wanted it to go. And I can't tell you. It was absolutely perfect. Like,
Right. That's
it was
awesome.
just surreal how beautiful everything was. And how,
If Joe might be different for Joe, but I don't think it ever changes.
yeah.
Nope.
You know, and I don't know if your mind does that when after you get that buck on the ground, it was just exactly how you always pictured everyone going. You know, it's just, and even though everyone's different, it seems like it was perfect every time.
Yeah.
You know, just how you always pictured it.
It's good to know.
Yeah.
and you know, the best part about the fact that I haven't got my deer yet is I get to go do it tomorrow.
That's
Yes,
right.
you do.
And
That's
we got
right.
fresh snow and,
That's right.
you know,
And
maybe I get that experience. Maybe I come back at the end of the day and drink a beer with you and we
Yeah.
talk about.
or maybe you text me. I come help you
Nothing.
drag it out.
That's right.
100
that'd be the
feet
best.
maximum. Till he runs out of patience. Give me that thing.
Well, at first I was like, maybe he's just like losing his grip a little bit, you know, and I'm videoing a little bit, following you, and your little stints got a little shorter and shorter. So
Well,
it's
I
all
just,
right.
I just did pretty rugged.
you really
Yeah.
number one, it was a close drag, so you didn't get yourself set up to drag for a while, because if you were really dragging out of the woods, you had your rope on it, and you have a stick, and
That's in next year's pack.
make it, yeah.
That was on the table with the survival guide.
Yeah. We'll also practice making fires. We'll get you some pyro putty or something like that for a fire starter.
There you go.
They give you this little cotton ball. It did nothing.
No.
Those
They
those
make
matches
some
are
really.
those matches not blow torches though.
Yeah,
It's really amazing. Those waterproof matches.
Yes. Hell
Oh,
yeah.
my God.
They make some really good products now for making fight. Because honestly, I mean, in all seriousness, if it gets down to where you have to make a fire,
Yeah, I would.
usually your hands
Yeah.
are.
Yeah.
You're not going to be able to do much. So you want to make it as easy as possible.
Yeah.
I had a moment before where I just got cold during the day, and it wasn't life-threatening or dire. I was just really cold, and I was like, oh, fire would be good. It took me a few minutes to get it started just because my hands were so
Get
cold.
so
and,
slow
and
yeah.
So
Yeah,
anyway,
no, and I always thought it was just a thing. Oh, it's lighting a fire or whatever. And no, it would come in handy. I mean, your hands do get really cold.
Yep.
the next thing is finding good wood to start it with, which
Birch-
there's plenty around you.
Birch
but
bark and stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, birch bark, and break off some dry limbs from a fir tree or whatever. And
Everything was pretty wet. If I had to go. I didn't try hard enough. I gave it a shot. It didn't work out. Figured it'd be fine.
yeah.
It wasn't frozen. I was cold. That's all. And it
Yeah.
would have been nice.
Well, I mean, it was part of that experience.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
kind of cool sitting
Yeah.
next to your deer. And I've never done that before, but
Yeah.
you know, if you got your deer sitting there and it's cold out, get a fire going and just sit there and relax and eat a candy bar or whatever. And,
I got a little smoke. It wasn't bad.
yeah.
I was sending smoke signals to Joe.
I came over there and he's with the bow like this.
My hands are bleeding. Well, thank you very, very much.
Yeah, Joe. Thanks
Oh,
for having
yeah.
me on
No.
too. I
Oh,
appreciate
absolutely.
it.
Appreciate you guys coming over and doing it. And, you know, it was really, I mean, I was doing a podcast this week no matter what, but
Yeah.
the fact that we could cover your deer
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
great.
Thank you.
makes it really good.
Really,
and
really cool.
really appreciate Ben, anyone that's looking for guidance services, Epic Adventures, Ben
Yeah.
Allen,
I appreciate that.
just the best. So
I always look forward to seeing you every year, Ben.
Yeah.
Always. I don't think you were here one year. I was like, it's too bad you were busy doing
That's
your
not
own
what he
thing.
said.
Oh, I know.
He knows.
I know it.
He knows.
No, Steve, it's been fun.
Yeah.
This is all part of deer camp that makes it deer
Yep.
camp special.
Yep.
Is that you meet people that stay with you for a long time.
Yep.
So it's pretty awesome.
And
Thanks.
Patriots are getting ready to play, which
Ooh.
that's another thing. So Steve's got season tickets, and I'm a Dolphins fan, so that's one of our yearly things
Yep.
is going down and
Yeah, looking forward to it.
watching the Patriots beat the Dolphins in Foxborough.
It's a lot better now. The Patriots in first and Miami's. Last year was the reverse.
I know.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're not in first. No, they weren't in first.
Oh, that's right. They sunk like a battleship at the end.
But anyway, and
That'll
something
be
else I wanted to mention real quick too, just because the last couple weeks we've gotten a lot of messages and then people telling me in person how much they enjoy the podcast, and it's always, we never get sick of hearing it, just because it kind of backs up what we're doing, and it makes us feel like we're doing something okay. So we definitely appreciate all the support, and having a lot of fun. All the guys are doing their thing. Neil and Jeff and Rick, Lee, Cody, and Corey. Everyone's churning and doing good stuff. So we appreciate it, and we look forward to the next time.
Thank you.
Thanks a lot, Joe.
Until next time.
What's that?
What does Rick always say? You don't listen to the podcast, do you?
Shoot straight.
Shoot straight. I don't.
You have to kind of.